What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments, and also check the description box to original creator of this beautiful creation. Finally I've returned to my home village. I've heard a lot about my little brother in my travels, especially in the land of waves. I need to go see the Hokage. When I got to Hokage Tower, some lady I didn't know was sitting at the receptionist's desk. "Hi, I'm here to see the Hokage, and no, I don't have an appointment." I said to her, "You look so much like a 15-year-old ninja in this village named Naruto, but you don't have the whiskers." "That's because I'm his older brother." "Oh, I'll go check if the Hokage would like to see you," she told me as she stood up. She went into the Hokage's office and talked with her for about 30 seconds and then came back out. "She will see you now." "Thanks." I walked into the Hokage's office and saw Tsunade sitting at the desk. "Tsunade, long time no see." "Nagoto, is that you?" she asked standing up. "Yep, this is great, but then again. What? Naruto isn't going to take this too well. That's part of the reason I came here. I was hoping you would let me train him in our clan's Kekkei Genkai. When he gets back from his mission that I just assigned him, I'll send him to the top of the stone monument. From there you can take him anywhere in the village." "How long will the training last?" "To get as good as me and Dad, about 6 months, to get the basics, about a week." "Okay, you have 5 months, and if you need more time, send me a message." "Thanks, Tsunade-sama, I'll talk to you later." "Nagoto, wait, yes, Tsunade-sama, what happened to Kijin?" "Who?" "Oh, my mom, cancer, last year." "Oh, I'm sorry, Naruto's going to be crushed. He's lived without a mother for 15 years. He'll be fine. It's the part about having a brother that's going to be hard on him." "Nagoto, after his training, I'll make you a jonin." "Thank you, Hokage-sama. I'll go prepare the compound. Send word with a messenger falcon when he returns, with the meeting time." I then used the body flicker, my clan's Kekkei Genkai, to get to the old Uzumaki clan compound. Man, it was overrun with weeds. It took me an hour just to davy the south wall, and it was the one with the least amount of ivy on it. I noticed that the sun was setting and I hadn't eaten since breakfast. I decided to check the messenger falcon landing post area and saw that a falcon was on one of the posts. So I took the message off of its back and sent it on its way. I read the message. The meeting was at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I went to Ichiraku's ramen bar in town. When I arrived, a pink-haired girl was sitting at the bar waiting for her ramen. When I sat down a couple seats down from her, she looked at me and did a double take. Oji saw my blonde hair and said, "Naruto, I didn't know you were back from a mission." "I'm not Naruto, I'm Nagoto. Oji, don't you remember me?" I asked. "Nagoto Uzumaki." The pink-haired girl looked at Oji and then stared at me. "You're finally back in the village. Man, you've grown. How's Kijin?" "Dead, cancer, last year." "Excuse me Oji, did you just call him Nagoto Uzumaki?" the pink-haired girl asked. "Yes I did. Why do you ask?" "Naruto's last name is Uzumaki. You should know that, he's one of your best customers." "Do you know why his last name is the same as Naruto's?" "It's because he's my younger brother." I answered the girl's question, even though Oji could have answered it. "I thought Naruto didn't have any family." "He did. While our dad was fighting the Kyuubi, my mom took me out of the village and we were just waiting for word from Dad that it was safe to return from the village, but we never got it." "Oh, he's out with Kakashi trying to see if the scouts saw my other teammate, Sasuke Uchiha, in the woods outside the village." "I'm Sakura by the way." "Oji, could I get some miso ramen and a bottle of sake please?" "Sakura, huh, you know you're really beautiful," I said, causing her to blush. "Stop flirting with me," she giggled, obviously wanting me to continue. "Nagoto, don't tell me you're going to be asking me out every other day like Naruto was when we were 12. Does he still ask you out now?" "No, I think he's trying to work up the courage to ask Hinata Hyuga out, but he doesn't know that she likes him. Her dad hates him though, so he probably discouraged the relationship." "Why not go out with me then?" "You know what, don't answer that." "Oji, I'm paying for Sakura's food." "You got it Nagoto. Here's your sake." "Thanks Oji. So why don't you come sit next to me?" "Okay." She moved the one seat over to be right next to me. "So, you were on Naruto's team of Genin, with an Uchiha?" "Yeah, he and Naruto were rivals at first, but then they became close friends and Naruto made the comment that his relationship with Sasuke was like that of brothers. Sasuke left the village 3 years ago, to try to find and kill his brother who killed their entire clan. All the Uchihas are dead? All except Itachi and Sasuke. Sakura, I just remembered, don't tell Naruto I'm his brother, I'm going to train him in our clan's Kekkei Genkai, and I was going to tell him then. Okay, Nagoto-kun. Right after she said, "Kun," who other than my younger brother came into the stand. "Oji, a cup of miso ramen over here please." He then noticed Sakura. "Hey Sakura-chan, who's that next to you?" "I'm Nagoto, and you are?" I asked even though I already knew. "I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm going to be the next Hokage." Oji then gave me and Sakura a ramen, and Naruto asked Sakura, "So, are you two going out or what?" "He's paying for my ramen, so I guess this is a date, but we just met here today." I nearly choked on my ramen. She said that we were dating. "Nagoto-kun," Naruto winced when she said kun. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine, it's just, you were protesting me paying for your food earlier and now you say we're dating. It just surprised me, that's all." "Well, we could consider this a date and I could consider you my boyfriend. So your answer to my question about going out with me is yes?" "Yes," she said as she leaned over and placed her lips on mine. I put my hand on the back of her head, deepening the kiss, and she didn't protest. When we broke from the kiss I knew she was the one who I was going to be with the rest of my life. I looked over at where my little brother was sitting, but he wasn't there. The next thing I knew, he was holding me up against the wall. "If you do anything to hurt Sakura-chan, I will hurt you twice as much. You understand me?" he growled. "I would never hurt her, physically or emotionally." "Naruto Uzumaki, put him down this instant," Sakura yelled, realizing where we were. "Sorry, Sakura-chan, it's just I feel like you're my sister, and I don't want anyone to hurt you." Oji gave Naruto his ramen and no one talked while we ate. When Sakura and I finished it was around 8:30. "I'll walk you home and meet your parents," I said, putting the money for the ramen on the counter. "Okay, let's go," she said. When we got to her house, I could tell Naruto was following us. I knocked on the door, and her dad answered. "Who are you?" he asked. "Daddy, he's my new boyfriend." "Do you have a name, son?" "Nagoto." "And do you have a last name?" "Yes," I dropped my voice down to a whisper so that Naruto couldn't hear. "It's Uzumaki." There is a reason I didn't say this in normal conversational tone, and I will explain if you allow me inside, because Naruto doesn't know my last name, sir. "Okay," he said hesitantly, "come on in." When we sat on the couch Sakura's mom walked in. "So why did you whisper your last name at the door?" her father asked. "Because Naruto was following us and he doesn't know that I'm his brother. You see, I left the village with mom the day after he was born, the day the Kyuubi attacked, so that we would be away from the fighting. We are members of the Uzumaki clan who, along with the Uchiha and Hyuga clans, make up the three great clans of Konoha. Yes, we also have a Kekkei Genkai, which Naruto has yet to train in. I will be telling him that we are brothers tomorrow at a meeting we will be having." "So why did my daughter say, he's my new boyfriend?" "Because I met her at Ichiraku's tonight and asked her out and paid for her ramen, and she said yes to going out with me." "Sir, just to let you know, I am 6 years older than your daughter. I'm fine with the age difference, I would just prefer someone younger. If Sakura is happy, then I'm happy. Why did you bring her here after dinner, and not your place?" "Because, the Uzumaki compound needs some cleaning, and I was hoping you would allow your daughter to help me clean it up. After all, it hasn't been lived in for 15 years. "How long will it take?" her mother asked. "No longer than 2 hours. She can help you, as long as she is back here by 11:30. "Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Haruno." Sakura's father completed the sentence for me. We then left the Haruno residence, hand in hand. I stopped on the doorstep and bent down and kissed Sakura, because I knew Naruto was still watching. I could feel his anger from wherever he was watching from. I then used part of the Kekkei Genkai, the body flicker, to transport Sakura and I to the Uzumaki compound. We were still kissing when we got there, and I broke the kiss. "What was that?" she asked. "That would be half of the Uzumaki Kekkei Genkai, the body flicker, or teleportation. All of the Jonin and some Chunin can do that." "Yes, but they are just mimicking it. They have to use chakra, Uzumakis don't." "Oh, I see. Where are we starting?" "The ivy on the north wall needs to be removed and then we can move into the house." "Okay." We worked outside for a little over a half hour, and then we moved inside and started to dust and vacuum. The house was still set up like I remembered it. We were going to have to get a new refrigerator, TV, microwave, washer and dryer, as they had all died many years ago. We finished around 11 o'clock, just a half hour over my estimate. I didn't know that the house would be so dirty. I used the body flicker to take Sakura home so she wouldn't be late. Nagoto, I just remembered that you said that the body flicker was only half of the Uzumaki Kekkei Genkai. What's the other half? It's like the Sharingan, but we also have a section in our brains that remembers every detail of every place we've seen in our life. It's part of the body flicker half of the Kekkei Genkai. That way we don't appear in a wall or something. When you activate the Sharingan, although we call it the Uzugan, corny, I know, but I was taxing my brain for the names of Nagoto and Kijin, so I couldn't think of a better name. All of the locations come to detail. All we have to think of is the location, and when it comes up in this third eye, as I call it, and think, go, we go there instantly, without chakra, and over any distance. I know with the Sharingan you can copy opponents' moves. Can you do that? Yes, I can, but it also absorbs all locations that our eyes, normal and Uzugan, see and stores them in the third eye. Do you want to see what the Uzugan looks like? Yes. Okay. I closed my eyes, activated the Uzugan, and opened them again. From looking in the mirror when the Uzugan was activated, it looks exactly like the Sharingan, but instead of red it's blue. Wow, it's like a blue Sharingan. Sasuke will hate Naruto when he sees him with this, she said mischievously when she saw my eyes. I deactivated the Uzugan. Good night, my little cherry blossom. Using a new nickname for her. Please just call me Sakura, and good night, Nagoto. She then kissed me good night and went in her house. Sakura, wait, what is it, Nagoto? You're a med nin, right? Yes, why? Well, the training Naruto has to go through is really harsh, and he might need medical treatment, so will it be alright if I come pick you up around 9:30 tomorrow, before the training? It's fine with me. You do understand that you can't watch the training in any way, shape or form, because the Uzumaki Kekkei Genkai needs to be coerced out, and the method is secret. After it is coerced out I'll let you know, but until I say so, you can't watch the training. Yes, I understand, Nagoto. Great, I'll ask Tsunade to exempt you from missions for 6 months, too. 6 months of training? Don't you think that's a little extreme? I had to go through 8 months of training, but I heard Naruto gets the effects of training quicker than anyone, so I think I can cut off 2 months. Damn, this training is worse than harsh, it's extremely harsh. Relax, Sakura. You're about to go to sleep, you won't fall asleep if you're this wound up. You're right, Nagoto. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Night, Sakura. I said as I did the body flicker to get back to my parents' room in the mansion at the compound. I'll give Naruto the guest room. I knew that my bed was way too small for either of us, and that both my parents' room and the guest room had king-size beds. I laid down on the bed, and fell asleep almost immediately. I woke up around 6:30, ate breakfast, showered, and prepared the training area for the coercion, and then left to go to Hokage Tower to ask Tsunade to exempt Sakura from missions as long as Naruto, because he might need a med nin. I got to Hokage Tower and saw the same lady at the receptionist's desk. I'm sorry, but yesterday, I didn't get your name. Oh, I'm Shizune, Tsunade's aide. I someone say from the corner of the waiting room. From his looks he was an Uchiha around Naruto's age, and then I remembered Sakura said something about their teammate. My guess is that you're Sasuke, and that you just returned to the village. Yeah, but who are you, and how did you know my name? I'm Nagoto Uzumaki, and yes, I'm Naruto's brother, and Sakura, who used to be all over you, is my girlfriend, and she told me about you. Just then Tsunade came out of her office and saw me. Nagoto, you aren't supposed to be here for another hour. Why are you here? I need you to exempt Sakura from missions as well, as the training is harsh, and Naruto might require medical attention. Okay, it's as good as done. I sent him up to the stone monument peak when he gets here. Sasuke, my office, now. Sasuke groaned, as if he had been sitting a while, when he stood up, grabbed a bag, with a bottom that looked like it was soaked with blood, and walked into Tsunade's office. I left the waiting room and went to the stone monument's peak. When I got there I sat on the head of the 4th Hokage, and waited for Naruto to arrive. I saw him and Tsunade coming up the ramp to the peak, so I stood up. When he got to the top and saw me his jaw dropped. Tsunade Ba-chan, you didn't tell me Nagoto would be my sensei for the next 6 months. Nagoto, have you met Naruto before just now? Yes, Tsunade-sama, I met him at Ichiraku's last night. Oh, Naruto, Nagoto has something to tell you. Naruto, you are my younger brother. Naruto, you are my younger brother. I said, what? I have no family. My entire family was killed by the Kyubii. Naruto roared, interrupting me. Naruto, calm down, I wasn't finished. We are what is left of the third great clan of Konoha. You and I have a Kekkei Genkai, but yours has yet to be activated. You must have known our mom and dad, if your claim is true. Our mom's name is Keijin. She died last year because of cancer. She was one of the best kunoichi in the village, and our dad, well, you've known of him. Right now we are standing on top of his head. Our dad was the fourth Hokage? Yep. Mom and I left the village 15 years ago, the day after you were born, on his orders. For the last 14 years we have been traveling the world waiting for orders from him to return, but we never got them. The reason I didn't come back until yesterday was that I was in a kinda serious relationship, but I broke up with her a month ago and came here. Anyway, before we return to the Uzumaki compound to begin your training, we will be picking up Sakura, because this training is the hardest training you will ever face in your life period, but it is the most rewarding. What are we waiting for? Let's get going. Okay, Naruto, you're going to have to come in contact with me somehow, so that you can come with me. He put his hand on my shoulder and I activated the body flicker to go to Sakura's house. When we got there a second later, Naruto gasped in surprise. Weren't expecting that, were you? Nope, but that's not that impressive, a lot of shinobi can do that. Well, what if I told you that that was part of our Kekkei Genkai and that I didn't use any chakra to do it? I would think that you were lying. Well, I'm not, but you'll see later. I knocked on the door. Sakura answered it. Hey, Nagoto-kun, does he know yet? She asked, indicating Naruto. You knew he was my brother and you didn't tell me. Naruto, I wanted to tell you this morning myself. I didn't know that you would see her last night. Why is she coming along though? As I said, the training is harsh. You will probably need medical assistance sometime in the 6 to 8 months. He nodded, but didn't say anything. He just put his hand back on my shoulder, and I took Sakura's hand in mine. I used the body flicker to get us to the guest room in the mansion. Naruto, this is where you will be sleeping. I'm sorry, but this is the only house we have, except for the shed. Sakura, if you want you can sleep in our parents' old room with me. I'll sleep with you, but not in the perverted way, yet. She kissed me, sealing the yet part of her statement as if she meant that sometime during the training that she would possibly sleep with me, in the perverted way. When she broke from the kiss I told her, you need to stay to the front of the house until I tell you. Why? Naruto asked. Because, little bro, our Kekkei Genkai needs to be coerced out of you and the procedure for it is a family secret, and someone who doesn't have any Uzumaki blood can't see it without being killed. Oh. Now, we need to go to the training grounds at the back of the house. I've already got everything set up. When Naruto and I got to the training grounds I continued, Naruto, what part of the village is your apartment on? The southeast. Why? Put your hand on my shoulder. I took him, via body flicker, to his apartment, and told him, get a set of clothes, and only a matching set to what you are wearing now. Okay. He got the clothes and put his hand back on my shoulder, and I took us back to the training grounds on the compound. Naruto, put your new clothes in the square all the way on the west wall. After you've done that you're going to need to take off all of your clothes, boxers too, and put them in this bin. Then I need you to lay down on your back in the middle of this circle, and not make a sound. What? Do you want to activate your Kekkei Genkai or not? Yes. Then you'll do as you're told or the activation procedure won't work. And Naruto, just to let you know, I had to do this at 15, with mom doing the procedure. So just remember it could always be worse. When I told him this he shuddered, and did as he was told. When he was laying on his back in the circle, I set fire to the clothes in the bin, and he started to say something but I put a finger to my lips, indicating quiet. I activated my Uzugen, and started doing the hand signs that mom made me memorize. When I finished the signs I blew a fireball, that was the same color as our eyes, also known in our family as the activation fireball, onto Naruto. But because of the circle he was protected from burns. Also, when the fire got to the edges of the circle I stopped blowing and started the chanting. After the hour chant I stopped the fire with a wave of my hand, went over to the square Naruto had put his new clothes in and grabbed a bucket with a water from a secret family hot spring in our winter mansion in the mountains to the north of the village. I cupped my hands and scooped some of the water onto his new clothes and then dried them by the fire of his old clothes. I put the fire that was burning his old clothes out and put the ashes onto 2 of my fingers. I then took the ashes from the clothes and spread them all around Naruto's eyes. When all of the skin around his eyes was covered, I sprinkled a little bit of the ashes from his old clothes onto his eyes, and then covered that with a sprinkle of the water from the hot spring, and to my surprise he didn't move throughout this part of the ritual. I then said the previous hour chant backwards. When I was finished, I used the activation fireball on Naruto again. You are to stay here for 2 hours without moving. At the end of the 2 hours, you will get completely dressed, and then I will put a sleeping jutsu on you, and when you wake up in the morning, your Kekkei Genkai will have been activated. When the 2 hours was up, I put out the fire surrounding Naruto and told him to get dressed. Right when he finished, I put the sleeping jutsu on him and took him inside to his new room. I put him on his bed and then went out to the training grounds and put all of the stuff needed for the ritual in the secret compartment in the shed. I then got Sakura. Sakura-chan, the procedure is done, you can come to the back of the house now. Nagoto-kun, do we have anything to do for right now? Actually we do. See all of those boxes? Well, we're going to take them to Naruto's apartment by hand, and then you are going to fill them with all of his clothes and hygiene products, and then I will bring them here via body flicker. Then we are going to bring all of his appliances here via body flicker as well. Okay, we did everything I said, and even set up the appliances so that we could use them in the morning. We worked until midnight. We then went to bed. I woke up the next morning to Naruto in the bathroom yelling, "Oh my god, I have a blue Sharingan." I got up and noticed that Sakura didn't wake up. She must be used to Naruto yelling in the morning. It's called the Uzumaki. It works like the Sharingan. Naruto, you can't go outside at all today. Why? Because, for the next 24 hours, your eyes are extremely sensitive, and if you go outside into the direct sunlight, you will go blind. The windows in the mansion are tinted to prevent this from happening. You also will not be training until tomorrow. Damn, I heard Sasuke had returned this morning and I wanted to go and see him. I saw him earlier when I was in Hokage Tower. I can get him if you like. That would be great. I want to see the look on his face when he sees that I have the the Uzumaki. Let me wake Sakura up so that she can watch you and make sure you don't go outside, then I'll go get Sasuke. I went into my room, got dressed, and kissed Sakura on the forehead. She started to stir and I said, "Sakura-chan, it's time to get up. You need to look after Naruto." "What? Why do I need to look after him?" "Because, if he goes outside in the direct sunlight in the next 24 hours he will be blind for the rest of his life and all of the training he's about to receive not going to work. You need to make sure he stays here, the windows are tinted. I'll be gone about 5 minutes. Okay, Nagoto-kun, I'll watch your brother for you. Thanks." I then used the body flicker to go to the Uchiha district of the village. I was looking around when I saw Sasuke in front of the biggest house in the area. I used the body flicker to be right behind him. "Hey Uchiha." I smirked. The next thing I knew my back was on the ground and a kunai was at my throat. "Oh, it's just you. How come I didn't sense you coming?" he said, helping me up. "Because you're a crappy ninja. I just had your ass on the ground, didn't I?" "Yeah, but I'm technically not a ninja, so you can't hold this against me. I never finished the last year at the academy. After I finish training Naruto I'll outrank you by a mile." "Yeah, so what? I haven't been in the village in 3 years. I haven't been in the village for 15 years, so I got you beat again. Why are you in the Uchiha district?" "To bring you to the Uzumaki compound. Naruto wants to see you." "Before we go, though, what was in the bag yesterday? I saw it had blood on the bottom of it." "The heads of Orochimaru and my brother, Itachi, who killed our entire clan and left me alive because he wanted me to try and kill him. I brought them to the Hokage to show her that I was still loyal to this village." "Okay, you might want to get dressed. I don't want my girlfriend swooning over you like she used to." The last living Uchiha then went into his house and changed into what Sakura had described as his old clothes, and said, "How are we getting there?" "Put your hand on my shoulder." "Okay," he said, just like Naruto had when I first took him to the compound. I then took us to the living room where I had left Naruto sitting on the couch. "I'm back." Naruto was laying on the couch and he sat up and looked in the eyes of the Uchiha who had his hands on his knees panting beside me. That's the same reaction I had when he first transported me that way, Sasuke. Sasuke stood up and looked into Naruto's eyes and his eyes widened. I took this opportunity to activate my Uzumaki. How does he have? He started, turning to me and recoiling when he saw my eyes matched. What the fuck is going on here? It's part of our Kekkei Genkai. You didn't know that the Uzumakis were one of the 3 great clans in Kahona, did you? Hell no. Why the fuck do you think I'm acting this way? Sasuke roared. I love pissing people off. Calm down. I just wanted to tell you that we also have a Kekkei Genkai, and it is just like yours, plus the way we got here. The Flying Thunder God Jutsu? Yes and no. That jutsu was a copy of part of our Kekkei Genkai, the body flicker. The Uzumakis don't have to use any chakra to use it. The other half is the Uzugen, or a blue form of your Sharingan. Sasuke-kun, you're back, Sakura yelled as she came out of the kitchen. I can't see how you can stand Sakura as your girlfriend, Sasuke said, turning to me. Sakura ran up and gave Sasuke a bone-crushing hug. I just love her, I guess. Sakura, you mind? Oh, sorry Nagoto, she said, locking her lips with mine briefly. Breakfast's in the kitchen. All 4 of us went into the kitchen and sat down at the table, and the 3 teammates reminisced about their past. Naruto and Sakura were surprised when Sasuke actually laughed a couple times, but I didn't know him before yesterday, so I didn't know him. I just sat there and listened until Sasuke asked, Nagoto, what were you doing for the past 15 years? Training in ninjutsu, under the Kazakage, and Gaara trained you in ninjutsu? Naruto asked. No, his dad did, he also taught me weapons, and then we. Who's we? Sasuke asked. My mom and I. Anyway, we moved away and mom trained me in genjutsu. She was a genius when it came to genjutsu, that was one of the things she could do well. That and use of the Kekkei Genkai. Dad was her father's cousin's son, so they were both in the family. The rest of the clan was killed by the Kyuubi. Anyway, she tried to train me in taijutsu, but I apparently can't do it. Nagoto, you're the exact opposite of Rock Lee. He can't do nin or genjutsu. He is a really good ninja even though he only uses taijutsu. Sakura said. Just then a chime rang twice. What's that? Naruto asked. That would be the bell that tells us when a messenger falcon has arrived, because it rang twice, that means we have 2 messages upstairs. Naruto and I let Sakura and Sasuke talk while I showed him where the messenger falcon posts were, and I was surprised when one of the messages was from Hinata Hyuga. Naruto, message from Hinata for you. I said, tossing the scroll in the doorway. He couldn't come out because the messenger area is outside. The other scroll was for Sasuke from a girl named Ino. I don't know how the bird knew where to come. I went downstairs and tossed the scroll to Sasuke. It's from Ino, whoever that is. Ino, she's my girlfriend, Sasuke said, getting sprayed by Sakura, who had just sipped her water. Naruto bust out laughing when he saw it. You're going out with Ino? You've only been back a day. Sakura screeched. Actually, I've been back 2 days. I just let my presence be known to everyone in the village except for Ino yesterday. Anyway, she's living with me now, Sasuke told her, wiping the water from his face. Naruto was rolling on the floor at this point. That explains how the messenger falcon knew to come here. I said. Dobi, stop laughing. This caused Naruto to laugh harder, if that was possible. Nagoto, please continue your story from before, Sakura pleaded. Naruto stopped laughing at Sasuke and sat in his chair. Okay, well, we were moving around the world until 2.5 years ago, then we moved to the land of waves and we stopped moving for some reason that I didn't know at the time. While we were in there, we met and befriended a bridge builder who showed us a bridge he had just completed. Naruto, is it purely coincidence or were you there before we got there? Because he said that the bridge was called the Great Naruto Bridge. We were there, and yes, the bridge is named after me. We as a team helped protect him from Zabuza, Haku, and Gato. Naruto said. Don't be so modest, it was you and Kakashi. I was passed out, and Sakura was just standing and watching. Anyways, I started to date the bridge builder's daughter. She was the serious relationship I told you about Naruto, and I formed a bond with her son Inari. All he would talk about was a certain blonde ninja in an orange jumpsuit who looked a lot like me, helped him get over his fears and become the captain of the Land of Waves police force. About a half a year later, my mom pulled me aside and told me that she had cancer, and that she was told she had 4 months to live. Unfortunately, she lived the final 6 months of her life in bed. She lived 2 months longer than expected. Inari cheered me up a bit, but my relationship with his mother was going downhill. I broke up with her a month ago, and decided to travel a bit. Nothing happened in my travels, except I did see this white-haired man, who kinda looked like a toad, spying on girls in a hot spring, and I found out it was none other than Jiraiya. We talked a bit and he told me he had just dropped you off at the village Naruto, and that my father was dead, and that I should return, so I did. You knew Jiraiya? Sakura asked. I also knew Tsunade. Did you know that she was the one who delivered you Naruto? Tsunade Ba-chan delivered me? Naruto yelled. Sasuke was reading the scroll from Ino. When he finished reading it, he stood up. Well, Nagoto, is there any way to leave the compound without using the body flicker? Cuz Ino needs me back at my place to help her clean up. He said. Yes, just walk out the front door and the gates are straight ahead. 6 months later. Naruto, if you want to expand the clan, you're going to have to learn the activation ritual. We had completed his Kekkei Genkai training, and I was trying to show him how to do the activation ritual. You're going to be starting missions in a week, and if you can't get the activation ritual down before then I'm going to have to keep you from them for another month. Hinata won't like that her boyfriend isn't making any money. Shut up already and just show me again. Naruto was fuming. I had used this speech 10 times already, today. Well, if you would just learn the activation ritual. I know. Knowing and doing are two different things. My mom tells me this all the time. It doesn't work, Naruto. 1 week later. Finally you got it. It took you long enough. I said. I didn't tell him it took me 2 months to get the entire activation ritual down. You can go on missions starting tomorrow. And good luck on the Jonin exams next month. He went into the house and went into his room. It was midnight. We both needed sleep. I went into my room and collapsed on the bed. I woke up around noon the next day. Naruto had already left and I had a party to plan. Naruto's 16th birthday was in 5 days. I sent a messenger falcon to Sakura telling her that the coast was clear, and that she, Ino, and Sasuke could come over and help me plan. In the past 6 months she really warmed up to the idea of Sasuke and Ino being a couple, mostly because she had me. But I would bet it would have taken her a year, but she would have accepted it anyway. When the three came over we talked about how we were going to get Naruto out of the house, who would cater the party, we decided on Oji, and how to decorate. We finished planning about 15 minutes before Naruto said he was going to be home, so I took the other 3 ninja home with the body flicker, and got back just as Naruto walked in the front gate. Yo, any messages from Hinata? Nope, I need to send her one though. That's going to be our distraction for Naruto, that or ramen, but Oji is going to be here cooking. I threw a pillow from the couch at him. I hate you sometimes, you know that? He laughed, throwing it back. I know, but you have to deal with me cause you're my brother. Now Hinata, you know what you need to do today, right? I asked her. We were starting to prepare for Naruto's party, which was going to be at 6. Yeah, I need to keep him away from the compound all day, but get him here at 6, and you don't care what I do to keep him away. She repeated, just like I had said 3 days ago when I told her. I'm ready, Hina-chan. Naruto said, walking down the hall, wearing an orange t-shirt that said, easy as 3.14159264, on it with a lady holding a homemade pie, and blue jeans. Hinata saw the shirt and said, I don't get it. Easy as pie, you know the math equation. I said, laughing. Should I get my Beethoven shirt instead, Hina-chan? Naruto asked. No, that shirt's fine. What Beethoven shirt, Naruto? The one that says, Beethoven the original Def Jam. I just bust up. Before you go, I heard that you painted graffiti on the faces of the Hokages when you were in the academy, is that true? Yeah, Naruto scratching the back of his head, nervously, I was immature back then. Don't worry, Dad and I did it too. It's kinda an Uzumaki tradition. Wanna do it again? Hell no. Tsunade Ba-chan would kill me. You can do the body flicker now, before anyone realizes it you'll be done and gone. No, she would still think it was me. Oh well, I guess you can go now. They then left and I went and got Oji, Sasuke, Sakura, Ino, and Sai, so that we could decorate the house for the party. We got done at 5:30, and then I went and got all the rest of Naruto's friends, teachers, and acquaintances that remember him. Gaara, Temari, Kankuro, Inari, Kiba, Shino, Kakashi, Anko, Kakashi's current girlfriend, Iruka, Tsunade, Jiraiya, Neji, and Hisashi were at the party. Hinata was still out with Naruto at 6. It was quarter of when they walked in. Naruto was appalled at the number of people that was at the party. Who was in on this? He asked accusingly. Sakura, Sasuke, Ino, Hinata, Oji, and myself. I told him, everyone else was just told to come to a party. He glared at me, but overall had a great time. The next day I needed to talk to Sasuke, so I sent him a messenger falcon telling him to come to the compound. Sasuke, sit down, I said when he arrived, indicating the couch next to me. I want to fight you. I said simply. Ino couldn't come over for that. I had told him to come alone. No, she couldn't come because I know you want an explanation. It has to do with the Uzumaki. What, you have to fight a Sharingan user to upgrade it or something? Actually that's the truth. I activated the Uzumaki. See how I have 2 tomes in a line? Well, the tome on the left side of the eye is from fighting Tobi, a Sharingan user. The tome on the right is from fighting my mom, another Uzumaki user. The only tome I don't have is from fighting a Byakugan user. The line on the bottom was a tome, the original tome, but it changed to a line when I activated Naruto's Uzumaki. When I fight him, I will get a line on the right. When I fight you I will get a line on the left. When I fight Hinata and Neji I will get a line on top, becoming the second person in the history of our clan to activate the 8th stage of the Uzumaki. 8th stage? Yes, 8th stage, 4 after fighting one of each of the 3 great clans of Konoha, along with the original, and another 4 for fighting a different member of the 3 great clans of Konoha, along with activating another Uzumaki. Essentially we get the Mangekyo Sharingan without the side effects, and it is active whenever we use the Uzumaki. Tomorrow good for you, training ground 3, 10 AM? Fine with me, if you make it noon. Fine, tomorrow, training ground 3, at noon. With that we shook hands and he left. Naruto walked in just as Sasuke was leaving. Why was Sasuke Teme just here? He asked pointing at the door Sasuke had just exited. I'm going to fight him tomorrow. What? Why? Because, my dream is to activate all 8 stages of the Uzumaki, and then become the brother of the Hokage, so you better become Hokage, Naru. 8 stages of the Uzumaki. I'll tell you after my fight with Sasuke. The next day. Naruto, be the judge. Naruto took a position in the middle of me and Sasuke, but out of the way. Sasuke, the rules are, go for the kill, but stop just before, or when you hear Naruto say, point. All kills are considered points. First to 10 points wins. Other than that, there are no rules. Got it? Sasuke just put himself into his fighting stance. After the fight, sorry I don't feel like writing a fight secene. The score of the fight was GAME 9 me. Naruto had gone home, the fight had lasted 8 hours. I knew that you were weaker than Tobi. But you still put up a challenge. I said, HN, I insult you and all I get is your trademark, HN. What, do you get off on pissing people off or something? I don't get off, I just like pissing people off, except Sakura and Tsunade, that might lead to death. I hear ya, I can't imagine what Naruto goes the living with you. Ask him, but right now I need to get home to tell him about the 8 stages. I then used the body flicker to get home. Naruto was waiting for me on the couch. Nagoto, 8 stages, now. He ordered. 1 I'm the head of the clan. And 2, I'm your older brother. The 2 reasons why you can't order me around. Are you going to tell me or not? He asked impatiently. I don't know. I'll think about it. I smirked seeing the shocked look on his face. I guess no what the hell I'll tell you. Damn right, you will. I could kick your ass right now because your chakra is depleted. Ignoring the last part, there are 8 stages of the Uzumaki. The first stage is where you are now. I'm in the 5th stage. Every Uzumaki user advances differently. The first stage is the only one where we are the same. The conditions to advance is you must fight a person with the Kekkei Genkai of each of the 3 great clans of Konoha. In order to get an Uzumaki like a Mangekyo Sharingan, you need to fight another user with the Kekkei Genkai of each of the 3 great clans of Konoha, and activate someone else's Uzumaki. That's not that complicated. It actually is. Mom was the first person in the history of the clan to get to stage 8. I forgot to mention, you know what the Mangekyo Sharingan looks like, right? Yeah, I know, with the lines and all? Well, you can only get 2 of the lines without getting the 4th tome, like right now. I can't get another line until I fight a Byakugan user, which will either be your girlfriend or Neji. Then I will fight you to get my 3rd line, or 7th stage. You have to fight me? Yes, because I want to activate the 8th stage. I've already fought Mom, so I have the tome from fighting her, but in order to get the line I need to fight you. Oh, so I need to fight 2 Uchihas, 2 Hyugas, and 2 Uzumakis? Yes. But only you and I are the surviving Uzumakis, so I can only activate 7 stages. Not really, if you or I have a kid with the Uzugen then you can activate the 8th stage. Okay, so what are the side effects of the Uzugen? The longer you use it for the more of a chance that you will get ocular cancer. That's what mom died from. So, we could die if we use the Uzugen too much? Yes, we could die. 2 years later. A.N. During this time period Naruto started to call Nagoto, Nato, and Nagoto has fought Hinata and Neji, but hasn't fought Naruto yet. Naruto, compound training grounds now. I ordered, it finally was time for me to activate the 8th stage of the Uzugen. What do you want Nato? He asked when he got to the training grounds. To fight you, Baka. 8th stage time already? Are we going to talk or are we going to fight? I've already begun, he said from behind me. Shit. It's a shadow clone. I thought as I activated my Uzugen, and jumped in the air, avoiding Naruto's Rasengan. The Rasengan hit his shadow clone causing it to disappear. I sent 2 kunai at him with explosive tags on them. He dodged the first explosion, and barely missed getting caught in the second. He was thrown about 50 feet, and face planted. A.N. Announcer voice and Uzumaki lands a perfect face plant. The judges on the scores. A perfect score. 5 tens. Nice job Naruto, and slid for another 10 feet, before hitting the wall. He disappeared in a puff of smoke. Another shadow clone. He then came charging at me from behind the shed. I used the body flicker to get right behind him, and let him just get far enough away, and then launched my foot into the small of his back, causing him to go flying. I then decided that it was time for me to use a genjutsu on him. He then glared at me, and I took the shot. He saw himself running up to me and stopping right in front of my neck with a kunai, when my head popped out of his stomach. Naruto, you can never defeat me. I will always have the upper hand. My head in his stomach said in a demonic voice. He realized that it was genjutsu and tried to stab himself in the leg, but I added another layer to the genjutsu, so that wherever he stabbed, another head would pop out. Give up yet, Naruto, admit it, you can't beat me ever. The demonic me said. I took him out of the genjutsu with a kick in the stomach, right on the spot where my head was. Answer me, I yelled as he came back into the real world. I give, you win. Nagoto-kun, I'm home, Sakura yelled. A.N. I forgot to mention Sakura moved in with the 2 Uzumakis during the 2-year break. Nagoto, what the fuck did you do to him? Calm down babe, I just took him out of a genjutsu, we were sparring. I needed to activate the 8th stage, remember? Well you didn't have to take it that far. He's been through worse, remember, he's the only one to break out of Itachi's Tsukuyomi, and live. What I did to him is nothing compared to that. Yeah, Sakura, I'll be fine. Naruto panted. See what I mean? Okay, Nagoto-kun. I guess I should tell Hinata not to come out here yet. When she said that, it looked like Naruto healed. You can tell her to come out here, Sakura-ch. I'm glad you're finally dropping the chan off of my girlfriend's name, Naruto. Hinata then came outside. Naruto-kun, she yelled. Sakura, I want to go visit your parents, soon, so why don't we go shower and change so that we can go? Why? You'll find out soon enough. The quicker you are in the shower and changing, the quicker you will find out. I said, slyly. 1 hour later, at Sakura's parents'. Nagoto, Sakura, what a surprise, come on in. Her dad said as he answered the door. We walked in and I took him into a room and left Sakura to talk to her mom. Sir, I came here because I want to ask for your permission for Sakura's hand. Her hand, you mean in marriage? I nodded, you mean you're going to propose to her, right here, right now? He asked. I didn't respond, I just pulled out the little black box that held my mother's engagement ring, she gave it to me in her will. You really are going to go through with this, aren't you? This is my mom's engagement ring, and I feel she wanted me to pass it on to my girlfriend. So, I was going to give it to your daughter if you approve, because she's only 18. I said, I need an answer, your wife is listening at the door, trying to figure out what we're talking about. It's fine with me. We then went into the living room, and he whispered something into his wife's ear, causing her to squeal. What's going on here? Sakura demanded to know. This, I said getting on one knee, Sakura-chan, since the first time we kissed I knew that you would be the one I would ask this question. I opened the ring box, will you marry me? Yes, yes, yes. I'll marry you, Nagoto-kun. She squealed. I put the ring on her finger, it fit perfectly. Sakura-chan, you have the same ring size as my mom. I said, standing up. This was her ring, she gave it to me in her will. My dad bought it for her. I just recently had it polished. I kissed her when she gasped. Nagoto, I'm glad you felt you could trust me with your mother's ring. She said when we broke from the kiss. I would trust you with my life. The other option was to let Naruto use it, but he'd probably lose it, and it's the only thing I have left to remember her by. I said, it's the only thing you have to remember her by and you gave it to me. I love you, so much. She said, snuggling into my chest. They look like we did when we got engaged, don't they, dear? Her mom asked. Yes, they do. Nagoto, I have some important news for you, too. What is it, Sakura-chan? I'm pregnant. What? Her dad and I yelled at the same time. I take it by your reaction, Nagoto, you didn't know before you proposed, so I can't accuse you of only proposing because she was pregnant. You can't but just think that it will stop all of the others from doing the same thing. We'll just have to get married in about a month from now, that way no one will see the baby bump. Sakura said. The wedding rectption. The plan worked, no one but Nagoto, Sakura, and Sakura's parents know Sakura is pregnant. Naruto was Nagato's best man, and Hinata was the maid of honor. Hey Naruto, come over here. Hinata, you can come too. I called out. Naruto, how would you feel about being an uncle of twins? I don't really know. He obviously couldn't take the hint, but Hinata understood. Naruto-kun, do you know what your brother meant? She asked. No. Dense as usual, Naruto. I'll say it in plain English for you. Sakura's pregnant with twins. What? He yelled. Keep it down, we don't want everyone knowing yet. Sakura said, hitting him on the back of the head. Sakura, I think you drew blood, you're wearing rings on that hand now. Naruto said, rubbing the back of his head. Sakura, it's time for you to throw the bouquet. Ino yelled, typical, the girl who made the bouquet is the one to make the announcement about the throwing of the bouquet. Hinata scrambled into position to catch it, and Sakura went up on the stage, ready to throw it. Everyone ready? Okay, here it comes, she said as she threw it over her shoulder. It was caught by. Everyone ready? Okay, here it comes, Sakura said as she threw the bouquet over her shoulder. It was caught by Hinata, and when she came down with it, she looked straight at Naruto. Well, bro, it looks like we're going ring shopping sometime soon. I said, elbowing him in the ribs. Shove it, at least I have the money to actually buy a ring. He said, I had the money, I just thought it would be more special for my wife to have my mom's ring. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Nato. It's the truth, why wouldn't you give it to me? Because, I knew you would lose it, and it's the only thing that I had to remember mom and dad by. I wouldn't have lost it. Naruto yelled. Yes, you would've, Sakura said, coming back over to the table. I know you, Naruto. No comment. About 5 minutes later, he asked, how long have you known that you were pregnant, Sakura? About a month. 8 months later. Alright, babe, I'll go to the bakery and get your cake. Naruto, you want to come? I then dropped my voice so that Sakura couldn't hear. The answer is yes, because you are going to get caught in a pregnancy bitch session if you don't. Sure, I'll come. We then left the compound and headed to the bakery. What does Sakura want this time? Death by chocolate cake. Okay. I want to go to the jewelry store on the way back. For a ring or for something else? He blushed. A ring. And one of those journey diamond pendants. Nice. You know that she won't be the head of her clan if you marry her, right? Yeah, I know, she is appointing Neji to take her place. I don't think that they're going to accept it though. They might, he's more talented in the Byakugan than anyone else in the clan, including Hisashi. That's true, but I don't know if Hisashi is going to accept our marriage though. He has to. It combines our clan with his, and we are the second richest to the Uchihas, so it would help him out to allow the marriage. Great. Hina-chan will be so happy. You should have the wedding in our winter mansion. I only vaguely remember the way to get there from the village. The last time I saw it I was 5. The only reason Mom and I got out of the village so fast was that we were packed to go to the winter mansion the next day. I don't know if the Kyuubi destroyed it though. What's so special about its location? I can't tell you until we get home, and I know no one is listening. Another family secret. How many family secrets do we have? Naruto exclaimed. Only the 2. Okay, I just hope I don't say any of them. Can I tell Hinata once we're married? Will she change her last name to Uzumaki? Yes. Then you can tell her. Great, I can't wait. Naruto interrupted. On your honeymoon or after? Damn, I can't tell her right after I propose? Nope, because she can break it off after you propose, but before you get married. After you get married there is so much red tape for her to clear, so that you can try and persuade her to drop the divorce. Everything our clan does, except for the painting of the Hokage's faces, has a reason behind it. We got to the bakery and I ordered Sakura's cake, and then we left the bakery, as the cake wasn't going to be ready for another 20 minutes, so we decided to go to the jewelry store and look for a ring and necklace for Hinata. Damn, there's so many different choices, Nato. Now I know why you kept mom's ring. This is going to be hard. Naruto said when he saw the amount of engagement rings that the store offered. Hey Ritone, what's up? I asked the clerk. Not much, Nagoto, what you here for? Ritone asked. My little brother is going to propose and wants a journey diamond pendant and needs a ring. What about your mom's ring? I gave it to my wife. I said, holding up my left hand showing off my gold wedding ring. You got married? She said, surprised, and I could sense the disappointment in her voice. Yeah, Sakura's gonna be a great wife, she's almost 9 months pregnant with twins. Congratulations, on being married and on the twins, she said without the disappointment. She then asked Naruto, so, who's the lucky lady? Hinata Hyuga. Hisashi won't allow this, at least I don't think he will. He will if he knows what will help the Hyuga clan, because the Uzumaki clan is much richer than the Hyugas. You do have a point, but I'm not thinking about the clan thing. It's more of the Kyuubi is contained in him, you know he hates the demon. Ritone saw the anger in Naruto's face. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the Kyuubi itself. She informed him. Oh, I'm just tired of people assuming since that I'm the container that I'm the demon. Naruto said once he calmed down. I'll take that ring, he said, pointing to a gold band ring with 3 diamonds on the top. The one in the middle was about 3 knots. And the 2 on the sides were about 1 knot. Great choice. Do you want a matching pendant? Yes, please. Ritone got the boxes for the ring and pendant and handed them to Naruto. Thanks. Just put it on the account, Ritone, I said as we left the store. You got it, Nagoto, she said. That wasn't that hard, was it? I asked Naruto when we got back to the bakery. Nope. We picked up the cake and went back to the compound. I put the cake on the kitchen counter and yelled, Sakura, we're home. Good, we need to get to the hospital, ASAP. My water just broke, she responded. Naruto, go send a message to Tsunade. Tell her to meet us at the hospital. Then use the body flicker to join us. I yelled into the living room. Right, he said. I found Sakura in the bedroom and grabbed her and used the body flicker to get us to the hospital. We got there and I told the nurse what was going on and she led us to the maternity ward. Sakura gave birth to 2 fraternal twin boys. One of them had her dad's hair color, orange-red, with blue eyes. We named him Jato. I know that there is an American rocket called Jato, and there is a reason he is named that. The other boy had blonde hair and blue eyes. We named him Orion. Naruto had to rush over to his date with Hinata. Before he left I gave him a note to give to Hisashi. Naruto's pav. Shit, I'm going to be late for my date with Hinata. I hope Hisashi accepts Nagato's note. He probably won't. Oh well, here it goes. Naruto Uzumaki. You're late, Hisashi yelled. Do you remember what I told you would happen the next time you were late? No, I don't remember, but I have an excuse this time. Sakura just gave birth to my 2 nephews, sir. I don't believe you. Read this then, I said, handing him the note Nagoto gave me. His eyes scanned the note. Your bother is more annoying than you are, you know that. Hinata is waiting inside for you. He scoffed. Thank you, sir, I said, bowing. I ran inside the gates. Hina-chan, Naru-kun, where were you? Daddy was pissed. I was watching the birth of my nephews. One looks like Nagoto, and the other has his eyes and Sakura's dad's hair. You should come to the hospital to see them after our date. I hope she likes her ring. When we were at the restaurant it was packed. I'm glad I got my Valentine's Day reservations 2 months ago. We were in a corner booth. After the appetizers, while we were waiting for our main course, I gave her the Journey Diamond pendant, and she loved it. All I could think was, you'll like what is coming after dinner. Hina-chan, you caught the bouquet at my brother's wedding, and you know that means that you're supposed to be the next one to get married. I said after we finished eating. I got down on one knee. Why don't you make that the truth, and marry me? I said, opening the ring box, revealing a ring that matched her pendant. I smirked at the look on her face. She was speechless. All she could do was nod her head yes. Some of the people at the restaurant noticed me on one knee and had listened to what I was saying, and when she nodded they burst into applause. The waiter came over with a bottle of champagne. "This is compliments of the house, congratulations," he said, placing the bottle on the table before walking away. "Naru-kun, this is the best Valentine's Day present I've ever gotten." "Thank you," she said, kissing me. "You're welcome, Hinata," I said when we broke from the kiss. I then paid, and on our way out, we ran into Sasuke and Ino who were on their way in. "Hey Hinata, Naruto, how's your Valentine's Day going?" Ino asked. Hinata told her about the necklace, showing her it with her left hand. "Hinata, what's that on your finger?" "The other half of my Valentine's Day present, an engagement ring." "Naruto, you didn't," Sasuke said, dumbfounded. "I did." Our waiter came up behind us. "Sir, you forgot your champagne," he said, holding the bottle. "Thank you," I said, taking it from him. "How'd you get that? You're not 21 yet." Ino asked. "Compliments of the house, for our engagement," Hinata said, blushing. Not to change the subject, but, how's Sakura doing? Sasuke asked. "She gave birth early this afternoon, 2 boys, Jato and Orion. We were going to go and see her right after we dropped off the bottle of champagne at the house." I responded. "You two can come and see her after you two eat dinner if you want." "We will, see y'all later," Ino said, dragging Sasuke up to the maitre d', stand. I grabbed Hinata's hand and used the body flicker, put the champagne on the kitchen counter, and then took us to the hospital. "Sorry, Hina-chan, but if I didn't do that we would be late for visiting hours for the babies," I said. "I understand, Naru-kun," she panted. I took her to the window that showed the room where all the babies were, and pointed to 2 sleeping babies in the corner. "That's them, Hina-chan. They're so cute, I can't believe that I'm going to be their aunt," she said. Someone walked around the corner. Nagato's Pav. "Did Hinata just say that she is going to be my son's aunt?" I said as I walked around the corner. I had decided to wait until after they finished talking to make my appearance, but that just opened the door for a comment. "Nagato, you really know how to get on my nerves," Naruto yelled. A couple of nurses that were passing by shushed him. "Sorry," he apologized to them. "Yes. I proposed at the restaurant. They gave us a bottle of champagne on the house. It's on the kitchen counter." "Your kids are so cute, Nagato. How's Sakura doing?" Hinata asked. "She's doing fine, she just fell asleep. They're going to release her tomorrow afternoon," I told them. "Hinata, are you going to move in with us?" Naruto asked. "I guess I could, after we tell my father of our engagement, and he approves." "Don't worry, Hinata, I'll be there and inform him of the situation," I said. "What situation?" Hinata asked. "The one involving the combination of our clans. The Uzumaki clan is the second richest of the 3 clans, to the Uchihas. Your father will approve of the marriage, even if he hates Naruto, because it is in the best interest of the clan," Naruto said. 12 years later. Normal Pav, 3rd person. Over the next 12 years, Hinata had a daughter, Kitsu, in late December of the same year of her engagement to Naruto. Jato and Orion are new genin, and are under the tutelage of their father. Naruto is next in line to be Hokage, and is Anbu captain. The Uzumaki compound has expanded to 3 houses, and a 4th is in construction. The winter mansion is where the Uzumakis are right now. Nagato's Pav. Vacation is great. Jato is getting annoying though. Sakura says he's just like Naruto when he was younger. Naruto denies every bit of that. Orion is apparently pretty popular with the girls, and he just ignores them all. He is straight, I know that, but none of the girls are his type, according to him. They're extremely annoying. Nagato. Naruto. Dinner. Sakura yelled. "Coming," I responded. I've grown to like her cooking. It's an acquired taste, like my liking of scotch. It was bad at first, but the more of it you consume, the more you like it. Nagato, how can you stand the taste of Sakura's cooking? I've never tasted anything worse, unless you count Jiraiya's cooking, Naruto said, meeting me at the top of the stairs. I just laughed. It's an acquired taste, I'm sure Jato and Orion would say the same. I told him, heading down the stairs. This was our 2nd year going to the mansion in the winter. We only go for a week, being that everyone in the family, except for Kitsu, who's in the academy, are ninjas. No messenger falcons know where the mansion is, for a reason. It's not really a winter mansion, it's more of a vacation home. The messenger falcons don't know where it is because we use the home so that we can relax and not be bothered by everyday life's problems, like messages. Today is our last day before heading back to the compound and resuming missions. I just hope the loss of 2 genin, 3 jonin, and an anbu for a week haven't increased the amount of missions that we need to do when we get back. I'm actually surprised that Tsunade allowed Naruto to get off for a week. Jato, Orion, are you two ready to go? We need to leave at 9 tomorrow. I told them, if you aren't ready at 8, all of your stuff stays here until we can get back, understand? Yes, Dad, they said in monotone unison. That goes for you too, Naruto. Sakura said, I'm an adult, I can take care of myself. Naruto said, just because you're an adult doesn't mean that the rule doesn't apply to you, Naru-kun, Hinata said. After we ate dinner, I was talking with my sons and the topic of fangirls came up. Dad, did you have any fangirls? Orion asked. I was moving around too much when I was your age, and no matter what he says, Uncle Naruto didn't have any other than Aunt Hinata. The real person to ask on how to deal with fangirls is Sasuke. I said, which one of you has the fangirl problem? We both have fangirls, some of them want both of us. Jato said, I don't really see it as a problem, Rocket does. Orion said, quit calling me that. Jato yelled, it's 7:30, you two better get ready to go. I said, after we got back, Rocket and I went to see Sasuke. We got to the Uchiha district, and we saw him outside his house, fixing the shutters. Sasuke, we need to talk to you. Rocket yelled, what is it? He asked. Dad told us that we should talk with you about fangirls. I said, fangirls, huh? Only 2 ways to get rid of them. Sasuke said, stroking his chin. What is it? I asked. Start dating one of them, or just ignore them. The latter will cause people to think you're gay though. Well, Kaidara is one of my fangirls, and she is pretty hot. I said, speaking of Kaidara, where are Ino and Kaidara? Rocket asked. They went shopping for clothes. I think she wants to buy a new dress to impress a certain boy. Sasuke smirked. No need to try and impress me, I'm already impressed. I won't tell her that though, I want to see her in her new dress first. I said, not noticing the small trickle of blood coming from my nose. Sasuke smacked me on the back of the head. That's my daughter you're thinking about. He roared. Crap, I didn't notice the blood, I thought. Sorry Sasuke. I apologized. Don't apologize, it's the first sign of weakness. Sasuke said, this is Gibbs' mantra on NCIS. I'm addicted to that show. Anyway, doesn't Sasuke seem like the person in Naruto to have that mantra? I thought so. So I gave it to him. The front door opened and Ino and Kaidara came in. We're back. I hope you didn't destroy the house, Sasuke. Ino yelled. Nope, I've just been talking with Rocket and Ian. Sasuke responded using our nicknames, that only the 3 of us knew of. Dad, I got the cutest. Kaidara started to say running into the room we were in, but stopped when she saw me and my brother. Orion-kun, what are you doing here? She asked. Just talking with your dad. I responded. Rocket said. Rocket, you sound like I did when I was your age. Sasuke laughed. Well, we need to go unpack. See ya tomorrow, Kaidara. I said, getting up, grabbing my brother's shirt, pulling him up with me. Why did you have to call me Rocket around Sasuke? Now he's adopted it. You suck, Rocket said on our way home. Damn, if it was anybody else, I would say, your mom, but then it would be my mom too. I thought, 'cause I like seeing you suffer. I don't suck. Whatever, fag. Hey, I'm the one who was getting a nosebleed thinking about Kaidara. If I remember correctly, you didn't do anything, so I should be calling you the fag. So, you're bi, you're half a fag then. I'm completely straight, 0% fag, unlike you. I'm not gay. Sure you're not, I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. Race you home, homo. I waited a couple seconds. Come on, race me home. Fine, you do know that the only reason that I didn't acknowledge you was because you called me homo. Rocket said, but I was long gone, shit. I heard him yell off in the distance, I was already halfway home. I got home first, and Dad was sitting on the couch watching TV. Orion, I need you to go back to Sasuke's, you need to. Rocket decided to make his appearance at this point. That wasn't fair, you left early. He yelled, interrupting Dad. It wasn't my fault that you couldn't recognize a shadow clone. Dad, please continue. I responded. You need to take this form to Kaidara. Our messenger falcon got hurt. Mid-air collision, so you'll need to hand deliver it. Dad continued. Okay, what's the form for? I asked. The Chunin exams. You're letting us participate in the Chunin exams. I yelled. Yes, and Kaidara needs to fill out this form, or all three of you can't participate, so I would take this over to her right now if I were you. I nodded and went over to the Uchiha district. When I got there, I went to Sasuke's house and knocked on the door. Sasuke answered the door. Ian, you forget something? He asked. I took a deep breath to calm my nerves. Yes, but that's not why I'm here. What you forget? To ask your daughter out. Okay, why are you here, if that's not why you're here? Dad wanted me to deliver this to Kaidara. I said, holding up the form. May I come in? Yeah, he said, moving aside to allow me entry. Why didn't your dad use his messenger falcon? It's injured, mid-air collision, it's getting old, we really need to get a new one. I replied. Wait here, Sasuke said, going into the living room. I heard him say, Kaidara, you have a visitor. She came running into the entrance hall. Orion-kun, what are you doing here? She said, surprised when she saw me. Giving you this form, I said, handing her the Chunin exam form. What's it for? The Chunin exams. Wow, your dad's letting us participate. She said excitedly. I noticed that she was wearing her new dress. Kaidara, you look good in that dress. I said, blushing. Thanks, Orion-kun. You look good all the time. Would you go out with me? I asked, remarkably calm. Yes, she said, more excited than when I told her what the form was for. I leaned down and kissed her. See ya tomorrow, Kaidara-chan, I said when I broke the kiss. She blushed madly at the chan. I can't believe I have a girlfriend. I went home to get my form from Dad, and tell him about me and Kaidara. Nagato's Pav. It's been a while since I sent Orion to Sasuke's, I wonder what's taking him. His brother filled the form out completely already. If he's not home soon, I'll have to fill out his form for him. Dad, I'm home, Orion yelled from the entrance hall. I got up and walked to the front of the house. What took ya? I asked him. I asked Kaidara out, and she said yes. No longer single, Jato came into the entrance hall at this point. Who is he? He asked Orion. She is our teammate. Orion responded. First and last girlfriend, cause then you'll switch to guys. Stop thinking about yourself. We're fraternal twins, so I won't ever be like you, fag. Jato just stood there, contemplating a comeback. I took this opportunity to interrupt the fight. Rule 1 of trash talking, if you hesitate, you lose. I said, that's great, Ian. What? How did you know Sasuke's nickname for me? He yelled. Dude, relax. Sasuke was my partner before I was your squad leader, remember? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Your memory is worse than Naruto's. I don't understand how he became an Anbu captain. I can't believe that Tsunade is retiring and allowing Naruto to move into the office. Dad, are you going to start our training or not? Orion yelled from the training grounds. Son, you know I'm not the one training you, and that Naruto is. So quit asking me. I yelled back. Hurry up, Naruto, my sons are getting restless. Orion-kun, Kaidara yelled as she came into view of the training grounds. I stopped her by putting my arm out. Is it true that you've gotten another tome? I asked her. Yeah, why? Let me see, then you can see Orion. She activated her Sharingan, showing me that she had gotten her third and final tome. Your dad's been training you hard, hasn't he? Yep, she said simply, as she deactivated her Sharingan and ran over to Orion. Just then Naruto appeared in front of my sons. You guys ready for training? Yeah, my sons yelled in unison. Okay, hey Nato, you mind helping me? They're on test 35. Ah, the first open eyes movement. Yeah, I'll help with the demonstration. Same thing as when I trained you? I asked. Yep, Naruto said, forming a Rasengan in his hand, and then running towards me. I waited till just the right moment, and then body flickered behind him and kicked him in the back. Kids, you can't close your eyes for this test cause, if you do, you'll be hit, or not in range. Got it? My sons nodded. Now Naruto, if you don't mind I have to go. See ya Nato. I'll try not to hurt them too much. Naruto smirked. I used the body flicker to get to the middle of the forest outside the village, where I was going to meet an old friend. I see you decided to show up, Uzumaki. A voice said. Madara, you know my first name, so use it. I said, turning around to face him. Still disrespectful as always, Nagato, so, are you going to join the Akatsuki? I gave you the 18 years to make your decision. I'll join, but I just need to seal off a few loose ends before I'll leave the village. Give me a year, then I'll leave, plus during that year I'll be your spy in Kahona. I said. Perfect. Madara stated. See you in a year then. 1 year later. I was getting my weapons packed up, ready to leave, when Orion walked into my room. Dad, what the fuck are you doing? He yelled. I put a silence jutsu on the room's perimeter. Ian, don't tell anyone what I'm about to tell you. I'm leaving the village. What? I'm leaving, and hopefully never coming back. I'm coming with you. No, you're not. If I'm not going, I'm gonna kill you, so you can't go. You couldn't kill me, but since you have the will to kill me, you can go. Get all your weapons and a week's worth of clothes. Don't tell anyone that you're leaving. You have 1 hour to get everything and to be back in this room. Go. He started to leave the room. Orion, if you hold me back at all, I will not hesitate to kill you. Understand? He nodded and left and got his things. He was back in the room 45 minutes later. Toss me your bag of clothes. Why? Just do it. Okay, okay. He threw the bag of clothes at me. I caught it and threw away his cloak. You won't need this. Now, let's go. I threw him his bag back and jumped out the window. It was still dark outside, being that it was now 5 a.m. Shit, we're going to be late. Ian, grab my shoulder. I ordered. He did as he was told and I took us to the meeting point via body flicker. You're late, Nagoto, Madara said in the chilling voice he was known for. Not unlike you were the first time we met. I responded. I see you brought a mini-you along. This is my son, Orion. He's joining the Akatsuki with me, or I'm not joining. We do need a couple more members. Madara said thoughtfully. He's in. Is Conan still alive? I asked. Yes, she's back at the hideout waiting for you. Who's Conan, Dad? Orion asked. My ex, but not really ex, girlfriend. I just wanted a break, and now is the end of the break. But what about Mom? Love, strong love, but not as strong as my love for Conan. What about Inari's mom? Yes, I dated her, but she found out about me and Conan, and she broke up with me, not the other way around. You two can talk while we move. We need to get to the hideout before they have to sedate Conan. Madara said impatiently. I just smirked. We just needed a little time to sort some things out. Lead the way. I said. Madara led us through the forest, towards the border of the Wind Country. I knew where the hideout was now. Madara, is the current hideout the same place where we first met? I asked. It is. Then, grab on, Orion, you too. I'll get us there faster. Damn, I hate the body flicker. Madara cursed. I was hoping you wouldn't figure it out. Too bad for you, I are smart. I joked. Just get on with it. Madara grabbed my right shoulder, and Orion grabbed my left. The next second we were standing in front of the entrance to the cave I had met Madara in 23 years ago. To answer your question, yes and no. It wasn't just after that I thought about you, it was before and during that I thought about you. I then leaned in and kissed her forehead. Come on, show me to your room. I'm staying with you from now till the end of time. Conan and I were just getting to the good part when Madara called for a meeting. We walked out of her room and down the main hall to the room where the rest of the Akatsuki sat, save Orion, who was standing. Conan sat in her usual seat at the circular table, next to Pain, and I went and stood beside my son. I'm just gonna cut to the chase, we have 2 new members joining our ranks. This is Nagoto and Orion Uzumaki. Nagoto is an old friend, for this reason he and his son are allowed to skip the fight with a current member, not to mention that the only person, other than them, that could beat one of them is probably Pain, and they wouldn't fight him cause he's the leader to outsiders. Madara informed the group. The kid's only 16, why doesn't he have to fight? A blue man I'd never seen before asked. 1, I said so. 2, your old partner, Itachi, was 14 when he joined. 3, we need new members, and 4, he could kick all of our asses, excluding Pain and including mine, with his Kekkei Genkai. Madara snapped. Who's the new guy? Madara, you came to me with the rest, why not him? I asked. Pain initiated him, I was elsewhere at the time, and just accepted him. His name's Kisame, he's one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. Naruto's POV, Hokage Tower, Naruto's office. I was finishing up some paperwork when Sakura stormed into my office. She looked like she was pretty pissed, so I tried not to upset her any more than she was. What's wrong, Sakura? Nagoto and Orion are missing. I woke up this morning, alone, and Jado came into my room and was yelling something about Orion and his weapons being gone. What? They weren't sent on a mission to my knowledge, they must have left the village. Shit, 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 this isn't good. 2 of the village's most powerful ninja just up and leave in the middle of the night. Now I know how the third felt when Itachi killed the entire Uchiha clan, and then left the village. Naruto Uzumaki. Now is not the time to be thinking about the third. Sorry. Look, you go get Sasuke and Kiba. I'll get Neji, Shikamaru and Choji. The 6 of us are going to look for them. Make sure when you tell Sasuke about who's missing that Kaidara doesn't hear. I ordered. You got it, Naruto, she said and dashed out of the room. I took off the Hokage robe and donned my orange jacket and ran to the Hyuga compound. When I got there, Neji was just closing the gate. Neji, come with me, I'm assigning you an extremely important mission. One that I'm actually going on. We just need to pick up some other people. Neji just nodded and followed me to Shikamaru's house. Luckily for us, Choji was there so that he and Shikamaru could watch the early morning clouds. Choji, Shikamaru, extremely important mission. Now, I yelled. What's this mission about, Naruto? Neji asked when Shikamaru and Choji joined us. My brother and Orion left the village late last night or extremely early this morning. We need to find them. Sakura's getting Kiba and Sasuke as we speak. Sasuke Retrieval Group plus Sasuke are the best at tracking, so I decided to get the group back together. I explained, as Sakura, Sasuke, Kiba and Akamaru Jr. Akamaru had died a couple years ago, so now Kiba used Akamaru's son, Akamaru Jr. or just Akamaru, came rushing up. Sakura said something about 2 new missing nin. Who are they, Naruto? She wouldn't say because Kaidara was at the door. Sasuke demanded. Nagoto and Orion, I said simply. This is the best tracking group Kahona has, so we'll find them. No doubt in my mind. Akatsuki Hideout. Nagoto Pav. Nagoto, you asked me to report to you if I saw a group of 6 or more, with a member of each of the 3 great clans of Kahona, leave the village. Well, it just left. Zetsu said. Thank you, Zetsu. I dismissed him. I then sent the message that I had prepared for Naruto's office. I then went to the nearest village and got a little boy to deliver another message to Naruto and his group. Naruto Pav. Someone's coming, Kiba said. I see him, he looks like he's waving to us. Let's stop and see what he wants. I said. Naruto, I don't think we should. What if he's an enemy in disguise? Shikamaru suggested. I'm the fucking Hokage. Do you think I can't hold my own against one enemy? Plus the rest of you are Jonin, and Neji is a Anbu in training. I retorted. You're right. I see that you guys are Kahona shinobi. The little boy said when we stopped in front of him. A blonde-haired man told me to give this to you. He said, handing me the scroll he was holding. He then returned from the way he came. It's from Nagoto and Orion. I yelled. I opened it and read aloud. Naruto and friends, turn back now. You won't find us, we'll find you, eventually. There is a message waiting for you at your office, Naruto, as well as one each for Sasuke and Sakura. An explanation is there. If you don't get back in the next 12 hours and open them, they will explode and destroy the entire village. Nagoto and Orion, damn them. Sasuke, now I know how you felt about Itachi. I'm going to kill that fucker. Nagoto Pav. I can almost feel my little brother's anger from the hideout. It makes me want to just laugh. I don't, cause that would look weird. Orion and I are about to be given our reins. I'm being given San, to go on my left index finger, as a replacement for Hidan, and Orion is being given Kita, to go on his left middle finger, to replace Kazaku. I really wanted to have Itachi's old reign, but Madara insisted that I have Hidan's. So, Madara, how many more demons are locked up? I asked. 4 more, 1 tail through 4 tail. Madara responded. So you got 6 out of the 9. 3 left. Which one am I responsible for? 8 tail, since Pain got the 7 tail, and you're just a bit stronger than him, hence the stronger Biju. Orion, I want you to get the 5 tail. We'll all go after Naruto. Orion nodded in response. Now, you two, give me your forehead protectors. Madara ordered. We complied, as he pulled out a kunai. Madara put the protectors on the table, and put a single line going across the entire metal plate, right through the leaf etching, before he returned them. You are now official members of the Akatsuki. Madara bowed. Orion and I did the same, but lower, as a sign of respect. When we stood up, Pain went into the kitchen and started to cook. From experience, I know Pain's cooking will be a well-deserved break from Sakura's. When they say gay men can cook, they mean it. Of course, I know the hazing ritual for my son has yet to begin, so I just can't wait for the pranks to begin. They won't prank me, cause I hazed most of them, and have gotten the title, Prank King. Within the group, I won't be helping any of them in the least. I might help my son on Revenge Day though. Naruto's POV. When we got back to the village, I dismissed Neji, Shikamaru, Choji, and Kiba, and went with Sasuke to my office. Sakura was there waiting, holding the scroll that was addressed to her. Sakura, open that scroll immediately. We have 6 hours before it explodes and destroys the entire village. I yell as I enter my office. I run up to my desk and grab the 2 remaining scrolls and toss Sasuke his. I'm on the verge of Kyuubi coming out, and the first line of Nagato's writing pushes me over the edge. This scroll wasn't going to explode. What I said in the previous scroll was a lie to get you back into the village quicker. It worked. I've always been smarter than you, Naruto. Before Tsunade offered you the position of Hokage, she offered it to me. I declined, because I knew I was leaving the village soon. Wouldn't it suck for the Hokage to become a missing nin? Anyway, the reason I left is because I met Madara in my travels and befriended him. I would have told you sooner, but I knew that you would kill me if I did. Back then he offered me a position in his group. I declined, but he kept me on as an advisor. He would send me the new recruits, and I would test them and see if they could become members. Now, I've finally joined the group. The Akatsuki. I hope you're well when I see you again, because I will not be as friendly as I was the last time we were reunited. Signed Nagoto Uzumaki, San of the Akatsuki. I'm going to kill Nagoto. That motherfucking bitch. When he comes back here, I'm going to rip his head off with my hands. I've already activated 2 tails. Sasuke's Sharingan is active and he's in a fighting stance and Sakura is trying to pacify me. Ain't gonna happen. Naruto's POV. With 2 tails out, my office didn't stand a chance. After an hour of destruction, I finally calmed down. Sasuke's was from Orion. Apparently, Orion sent one to Sasuke to give to Kaidara. Odds are he's breaking up with her. This ain't going to be pretty. Sakura's was from both of them, and they basically said, fuck off. I hope Kami is with them when she finds them. Nagoto POV. Orion and I headed to the Land of Lightning to see if we could find the 8 Tails vessel. We found her and I marked her with a tracker that not even an Anbu could detect. On our way back to the hideout, I noticed the Kazakage coming our direction. Ian, left now. Dad, the hideout's on the right. I know. The Kazakage is coming this way, and if we go into the hideout through the front, he'll know where it is. So, we're going the long way, that only I know about, and can allow people through. Without me, if you try to come through this way, you'll die. Move. Orion did as he was told, and turned left. We entered a cave and I made a couple of hand signs, and my chakra flowed out and filled 3 indentations on the back cave wall. Only my chakra would activate the door, and once I go through the door it closes. If my chakra isn't used to open the door, a boulder falls from the roof of the cave right on top of the person inserting the chakra. Through the doorway is a series of tunnels that lead to the kitchen of the hideout. Madara pulled me aside to talk. Nagoto, Orion's only an A- ranked missing nin. We need to change that. You know what to do. Go to Rock Village. Give them this. Madara gave me Deidara's forehead protector. How many? According to his records, only 2. One needs to be tortured, preferably with a witness for both. Is waterboarding, 1, considered torture? I smirked. Uzumaki, you know damn well I'm a liberal and I say it is, even if your conservative ass doesn't think so, too, but I would prefer the torture to include something with blood. What is it with you and blood? You got a hema fetish or something? No, he yelled defensively. Then why are you so damn defensive? My smirk got bigger. You're too close to my fetish, bastard. He said, taking a drink of a glass of water he just poured. You're into necrophilia? I blurted out, partly because I knew that he meant that he was a masochist. The other reason I said that was Pain just walked into the room. I'm going to kill you. Madara said calmly. Dude, that's not right. Pain said. I slowly backed away. What? Necrophilia means having with corpses. I say, backing away slowly. I still don't get it. I winked suggestively at him. Fuck you, Uzumaki. He roared and stormed out of the room. I think he got it. What do you think, Pain? That I couldn't get away with what you just did. 3. You're probably right, anyone else would have been. I stopped because I heard someone yelling. Of a bitch. I'm going to kill the fucker that did this to my room. I heard my son yell. I take it you guys pranked him. What would give you that ever so correct idea? Pain said innocently. I just rolled my eyes. You know, he's probably gonna ask for my help on Revenge Day. And I'm not going to deny him. I said as I used the body flicker to see what Orion's room looked like.